Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video forms a part of Unit 4, Drugs Acting on Endocrine Glands. And in this video, we'll be seeing about the nomenclature of steroids. Steroids are organic compounds widely distributed in plants and animals. Chemically, they are condensed polycyclic ring system. That is, they contain more than 2 rings. Steroids are tetracyclic, that is, they contain 4 rings. And the ring system present in steroid is 1,2-cyclopentanoperhydrophenandrine ring. Then, what you see on the screen is a phenandrine ring system. This phenandrine ring system is a non-linear tricyclic aromatic compound. And when a cyclopentane is attached to this point, you get cyclopentanophenandrine ring. The small letter A in bracket indicates that the cyclopentane ring is attached at this particular point. This particular point is named A. This ring part is named B, and this forms the C. And when this cyclopentanophenandrine is saturated, when it is hydrogenated by the addition of hydrogen, it gets converted to a saturated compound, and the resultant compound is cyclopentanoperhydrophenandrine ring. This perhydro indicates that all the double bonds present in the phenandrine ring is hydrogenated by the addition of hydrogen atom.
So this steroidal nucleus is present in almost all the steroidal compounds. So the most common one are sterols. Sterols contains a hydroxyl group at the third position. Example is cholesterol, ergosterol, etc. They are widely present in plants and animals. Vitamin D is another compound that contains steroidal nucleus. Then bile acids is a metabolic product of cholesterol. It also contains a steroidal nucleus. Then sapogenins are present in plant kingdom. They are poisonous compounds, and they also contain a steroidal nucleus. The next one is cardiac glycosides. The cardiac glycosides obtained from digitalis lanata, digitalis purpurea all contain steroidal nucleus.
Of course, sex hormones and adrenal cortex hormones. Sex hormones and adrenal cortex hormones are called as steroidal hormones because they have a steroidal nucleus. That is, they all contain this cyclopentanoperhydrophenandrine nucleus. And steroidal hormones includes the sex hormones from the gonads, then gestogens and corticosteroids. And the sex hormones includes both the male sex hormones and the female sex hormones. Male sex hormone is androgens or testosterone, and female sex hormone is estrogens like estrone, estradiol, estriol, etc. And then the corpus luteum hormone is otherwise known as gestogen. Example is progesterone. And then the corticosteroids are secreted from the outer cortex of the adrenal gland, and they include both the glucocorticoids like cortisone, hydrocortisone, and mineralocorticoids like aldosterone. Now we'll move on to the nomenclature and numbering of steroids. So what you see on the screen is the basic ring system of steroids. It's a tetracyclic ring system, cyclopentanoperhydrophenandrine ring system. And the 4 rings present in the steroidal nucleus is named ring A, ring B, ring C, and ring D. And the ring A, B, C are 3 fused 6-membered cyclohexane ring, and ring D is a 5-membered cyclopentane ring. Now we'll continue with the numbering of steroid ring. While numbering the steroid ring, first the basic steroidal nucleus is numbered, and then the side chains attached to the ring is numbered. So we will see how to number the steroidal ring. So what you see on the screen is the basic steroidal nucleus, that is a cyclopentanoperhydrophenandrine ring. So while numbering we'll start from this point, from the adjacent point of the junction of two rings. This ring is A, this ring is B, so this ring is C, and this ring is D. Okay. Now, so this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, the third carbon. So you can notice that we are moving anti-clockwise. We number the junctional carbon atom, then we move on to the D ring, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the two rings A and B are first numbered, and then we'll number the C ring, that is we move clockwise direction, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then the D ring, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so this is how you number the basic ring system of the spheroidal nucleus. So first you finish off the numbering of the ring system, so you have reached 17. Now next, where to proceed? Then after 17, the number 18, this carbon atom is given a number 18. Okay, and then the side chain, the methyl group at C10 is given a number 19. So you finish the numbering of side chain methyl group present at the C13 and C10, and then after that you start numbering the side chain present at the C17. Okay, so then 18, 19, and this carbon atom is 20, and this carbon atom is methyl group is given a number 21. So this forms a pregnant nucleus. You see that. Okay, then if there is further side chains attached, alkyl chain attached to this ring system, then the numbering proceeds to this carbon atom, 22, then 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, and then this is 27, and then you come to this carbon atom, 28 and 29. So this is how you number the spheroidal nucleus. So whatever be the nucleus present, the numbering pattern does not change. That is, if this methyl group is absent, the C21 methyl group is absent, then the numbering pattern of this, the numbering of this carbon will not change. This carbon will always remain as C22 only. 22 only, 23 only. Suppose if this carbon atom is absent, C13, C19 is absent, then the numbering of the remaining carbon atoms will not change. That is, this 20, this carbon atom will be always 20. Okay, so this is how you number the spheroidal nucleus. Alpha and beta configurations. Okay. The spheroidal nucleus are basically a flat planar molecule, that is planar nucleus, that is that spheroidal nucleus will remain in a flat plane, and the substituents attached to it like CH3, the CH3, just hydrogen atom, etc., will be either above the plane, or below the plane. So since it is a flat molecule like a page of a book, some of the substituents like this methyl group C18 and C19 methyl group will be above the plane, and the hydrogen atom attached here will be, these hydrogen atoms will be below the plane. When the methyl group or when the side chain is above the plane, it will be closer to the observer. Okay, it will be closer to the observer, and so it is indicated by a bold line. And when the hydrogen atom, or when the side chain or when the branch side chain is below the plane, it is away from the observer, and it is indicated by dotted lines or dashed lines. Okay. These dashed lines, these bold lines indicates that the methyl group is above the plane of the molecule, and that is indicated as the beta configuration. Okay, and these dotted lines indicates that it is below the plane of the nucleus, and it is referred as alpha configuration. And when sometimes you will not be able to ascertain whether it is alpha or beta, you'll be uncertain about their configuration, and in that case the bond is drawn as a wavy line. It can be either a alpha configuration or beta configuration, and when you are uncertain of this configuration of a particular bond, it is represented as psi, and is denoted as by this symbol in their name. These steroids are given systemic names based on their parent hydrocarbon present. That is, depending upon the number of carbon atom present in the steroidal molecule, each steroids have a particular name. For example, the steroids that contain 17 carbon atoms, total number of carbon atoms, if it is 17, they are given the name gonane. And 5-beta-gonane indicates that the hydrogen atom at the 5th position is above the plane of the nucleus. And here it is, the hydrogen atom at the 5th position is represented by a dotted line, and that indicates that it is a 5-alpha-gonane. And here the hydrogen atom at the 5th position is represented by a wavy line, and so it is a 5-alpha or beta-gonane, or it is 5-psi-gonane. Now, if it contains C18, if the total number of carbon atom present in the steroid is C18, total 18 carbon atom, then it is given the name estrane, E-S-T-R-A-N-E, estrane. So this estrane is present, estrane nucleus is present in estrogens. That is why it is the name estrogens. It comes from this estrane. And then if there is one more carbon atom, C19 is there, total number of carbon atom, if it is C19, then the name is androstane. So androstane, 2 methyl groups at C10 and C13, and no methyl group or no side chain at C17. And now the next possibility is a side chain at C17. C17, if there is 2 carbon side chain at C17, it is given the name pregnane. Pregnane contains a 2 carbon side chain at C17, and so the nucleus is 21 carbon steroidal nucleus. And then, so that is all about the nucleus that is present in the steroidal hormones. The steroidal hormone, the nucleus present in steroidal hormones can be either estrane nucleus as an estrogens, androstane nucleus as an androgens testosterone, pregnane nucleus as in progesterone. And then other steroidal complex compounds like bile acids, cholic acid contain this choline. Choline contains 24 carbon atom, and C24, that basic nucleus is named as choline. And then cholesterol contains 27 carbon atom. 27 total carbon atom is 27, and that is given the name cholesterol. Example is cholesterol. Cholesterol is having this cholesterol. Then there are C28 carbon atom steroidal nucleus, that is known by the name ergostane as an ergosterol. Then C29 steroidal nucleus, stigmastane as in stigmasterol. Now we will come to the IUPAC nomenclature. So this is the first rule. When some of the carbon atoms in the ring are missing, the numbering of the remainder remains unchanged. So nucleus, this is a C17 carbon atom, and then this is the C10, and this is C18 methyl group. It should be C18 methyl group, but here the methyl group is absent. Methyl group is absent. Methyl group is absent, and so this it was numbered as 18, 19, then coming to this 20, 21. So it is pregnane nucleus. So here in that this carbon atom is going to become 18. Okay. So here this will the numbering remains 19 itself, and this carbon atom number remains the same. So that is the first basic rule. Even if 1 or 2 carbon atoms are absent from the ring or from the side chain, the numbering does not change. So how do you name such compounds? So here a methylene group is missing at C18. So how do you name such compounds? They are named by the use of the term NOR, N-O-R. The term NOR is used, and that is indicated by when the methylene group is absent, it is indicated by the prefix NOR,
and it is preceded by the number of the carbon atom which has disappeared. So here it is a 21 carbon atom, so it is pregnane, and the 18th methyl group is 18th carbon atom is missing, so the naming is 18 nor 5 alpha pregnane. Alpha pregnane indicates that 5 alpha pregnane indicates that the hydrogen atom at the 5th carbon atom is below the. Another example, so here it is actually estrane. It contains C18 nucleus, and this estrane can also be named as 19 nor androsten. 19 nor androsten, that means the methyl group is absent from the androsten nucleus. Androsten nucleus contain 19 carbon atoms, so estrane can also be named as 19 nor androsten. Now, the term nor can also be applied in this case also. So here in this case you can see that the ring A is contracted, that is the 4th carbon atom is absent, and here also this can be indicated by the term nor and prefixed by the lock-in number. So here the lock-in number is the 4th carbon atom is missing, so you can use 4 nor 5 alpha androsten. This is C19 carbon atom, C19 steroidal nucleus, so it is named as 4 nor 5 alpha androsten. Then the use of the term DES. When we use DES in the nomenclature of steroid, what does it mean? It means that, so here you can see that the terminal ring is removed, the ring A is absent, okay, from the androsten nucleus, okay. So when the terminal ring is removed and with the addition of hydrogen atom at these two junctional carbon atom, then it is indicated by the prefix DES, DES, DES. So the naming is DES A androsten. A, we have to specify the name of the ring in capital letter followed by the so you have to use the term DES followed by the alphabet in capital of the ring being removed. Okay, so this is DES A androsten. This means that the ring A is absent from the androsten nucleus. Then when a ring has been enlarged or the lengthening of the side chain occurs, then that is indicated by the term HOMO, H-O-M-O, HOMO. So you can see that the D ring is enlarged here. D ring, cyclopentane ring is enlarged to a cyclohexane ring, and then here in this case you have to name it as D HOMO, okay, D HOMO 5 alpha androsten, D HOMO 5 alpha androsten, okay. Then, so how do you number this ring? So here this D ring is enlarged, or so here this becomes so this position is 70, okay. So 15, 16, 70, and this number is not going to change 18, and this is not going to change 90, and now this becomes 17A, small letter A. So this is 17A. So if there is a methyl group here, so suppose if there is a methyl group here, then it becomes 17A methyl, okay, 17A methyl D HOMO 5 alpha androsten. Okay, so this is the nomenclature. Okay, so here the next example here, here you can see that it is a estrane nucleus, okay, 18 carbon atom, but a new methyl group, methylene group, CH3 group is introduced at the 18th position. So here a new methyl group is attached, and so that is indicated by 18A. Now, so it is an estrane nucleus. So how will you name this? So it is named as 18 alpha HOMO 5 alpha estrane. Okay, 18 alpha. So this is the alpha carbon, 18 alpha. This is the alpha carbon, alpha 18 carbon atom. So this is the alpha bond. You can see it as a bold line, and then 18 alpha HOMO. HOMO indicates this carbon atom. This is HOMO. That means a new CH3 group, is new carbon is introduced at the 18th carbon atom, and then it is a 5 alpha estrane. Now next is the use of term SICO. So SICO indicates when a ring is broken. So here you can see in this example, you can see that the ring A is broken at the second and the third position. Okay. So when this happens, it is denoted as SICO, S-E-C-O, SICO, and the name, the original name is retained, and this name here it is named as 2,3 SICO. So the second, that is, the ring is open between second and third carbon atom, and the nomenclature is 2,3 SICO 5 alpha cholestane. Cholestane because it contains 27 carbon atom. So that is the term SICO. Then now, as in the nomenclature of normal hydrocarbons, when there is a double bond or a triple bond, the ending ANE, alkane, is replaced by the term ENE if there is a double bond, and the position of the double bond is indicated by giving the lesser of the two number of the carbon in the double bond. And okay, so here in this case, whenever you name a steroid, you have to name it as androst 5-ENA, not as 5-androstene. Okay, so this is how you name it. Okay, so you can see this example. It is a estrane, C18 carbon atom. So how do you name a compound with double bonds or unsaturation? So you can see here in this example, it is a 18 carbon atom, 18 carbon atom steroid. So it is a estrane, the steroid belonging to estrane. Okay. Now then the ring A is having 3 double bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So when you name a steroid with a double bond unsaturation, you have to replace the ANE with ENE. And you have to specify the position of the first double bond is between 1 and 2, so the first position is 1. The second double bond is between 3 and 4, so it is 3. And the next double bond is between 5 and 10. So the double bond can be, when you mention only 5, that can be either, the double bond can be between 5 and 6 or between 5 and 10. And so then you have to indicate the position of the second carbon atom also. So in this case it is 10, and you have to mention that 10 in bracket. So the name is, you have to name it as Estra, E-S-T-R-A 135 in bracket 10 hyphen S-T-R-I-E-N, trine. Estra 13510 trine. So lies between two carbon atoms which are not consecutively numbered. Both numbers are given, the greater number being given in parenthesis. That is, the higher number is given in brackets. Example is Estra 13510, 10 in brackets trine. Okay, so these are some of the common rules that is followed while naming a steroidal nucleus.
So that's all about the introduction and nomenclature of steroids. You can expect a short answer question based on this topic for your university examination. Depending upon the marks, you can make it short. Thank you all.